how often does the actual philanthropic initiatives change markedly from when they first hired you?
Dramatically and often. Because in order to find common ground between the wealth creating generation and the rising generations, requires people to stop and listen and value each other in ways that they often don't start out doing. And so it evolves and it becomes truly multi-generational. People learn from each other, they talk with each other, they listen to each other, and they evolve as a family.
But isn't that really what a legacy family is? A legacy family cares about undertaking that process because listening, shared values are the things that are the components to keep a family together. So those ingredients are what a legacy family is. That's, if you want to be relevant in 50 years and remain together and not go your own way, those are things that you have to undertake.
Think about this, Roy. Think about how different your lens is than the lens of your parents. What you've seen, what you've experienced, what you've been part of in your life, so different from your parents. The same is true with your children and your grandchildren. Each generation looks at the world through a completely different set of eyes, has different experiences and different expectations, and ultimately different hopes and dreams. And so if the generations can truly listen to each other and value and learn from each other, a family can thrive over the generations.
So let's look at it from the reverse. Without casting judgment, what's the risks of families not including what I'll just generally call the next gen, whether it be children, grandchildren, cousins? What is that risk at least in the philanthropic arena, if they just choose to make it, as the Beatles song goes, I, me, my, all about myself?
The risk is it will die when they die.
Why?
Because there's no planning between the generations to carry on the values, to carry on the mission, to carry on the work.
And even if there was the caring, they wouldn't have the experience.
Or the tools.
Or the tools. Because to be successful at something, you need to have experience in undertaking these projects. Would you agree with that?
I do.
So the risk is if they don't have this safe zone, if they don't have some architecture of engaging different generations and listening to each other, what they're going to have is a short-lived initiative that will most likely, if not fade out, decline seriously after their passing. So correct?
That's absolutely correct. It'll go to the grave with them in all likelihood, because the next generations, the rising generations, are going to have their own passions and their own goals and their own hopes and dreams, born out of their different life experience than that of the parents or the grandparents. So if there's a true effort to create, I like your word, the architecture for family communication, family sharing, and the passing of values up and down the generational ladder, the family will more likely thrive over generations, over time, and over distance.